we did see humidities near 12%. We saw winds gusting anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour, and we did see some pretty good sunshine. The result of that was more active fire behavior than what we had been seeing the past 2 days when we had more cloud cover and a little bit of precipitation. We saw some active fire behavior on the north side because that was able to dry yesterday with the precipitation that we saw on the south side of the fire yesterday. It was less of the fire as well. Going forward,
we didn't have the time or space to feel like that was a safe operation, but that's something that we're continuing to evaluate as we go through the duration of this fire, is identifying those other opportunities that may be a better plan. Manhattan Road, a lot of the same work going on there. A lot of the structure protection is completed at this point, identifying things that we can remove certain private property sections or straighten out our lines to make that a more defendable feature. And so a lot of good work's gone on in Romeo, and that will continue with hose and pumps and sprinklers to really set ourselves up for success in that area. Moving down into the uniform area, down into the CSU campus, same story there. We have some lines identified coming up from the CSU campus up into the wilderness area, and we will be supporting that with the additional surge hotshot crews that we have coming in. So that will be an operation for likely the next 3 days that we'll have those crews here on site with us, and we'll look to finish that operation up in the next several days. Okay, so the story of today was down here in Division Whiskey. We had some active fire behavior associated with spot fires from the last couple of days, consolidate and get enough energy to really move. The fire moved out towards the Crown Point Road area today, and we've been working very closely with Larimer County identifying trigger points, and we felt like with the active fire behavior and the remainder of the burn period, we still had quite a bit of time that it was going to hit one of those trigger points. The trigger point that it triggered was an evacuation mandatory for the area out to the Pingree Park Road, and then past the Pingree Park Road out to the road out here. That was a voluntary evacuation, and that would be the Stowe Road. Voluntary, mandatory in this area. That's the operational update for today. Thank you very much.
of Rocky Mountain Blue Team. We've just heard weather. Obviously, some things are taking place today with some sunshine on the fire and the fire deciding to start to move around. A lot of questions come in, very specific questions, and about triggers. Where are they? Why are they there? How do we inform the public? Things of that nature. So in a fire like this, here, the trigger points out through the forest. There and stop this fire, we would already be doing that. So the trigger points we've identified, and we have worked with the county and local resources, are oftentimes or through a very small part of the forest that may or may not be used. In this case, those are hard to relay to the public. We generally don't pass trigger point maps because those create a lot of questions that, frankly, when we're fighting a fire this aggressively, we don't have the bandwidth to answer. But people deserve to know what a trigger point is and what it means. So today we had some large fire growth, and it's coming up, and we wanted to discuss, hey, we pre-plan that if the fire starts to get to these new points, let's have certain things pre-built and discussed. You have outstanding services in the area here, and they have very succinct plans that were activated today, and they're done with public safety in mind. Are people happy to hear an evacuation notice, order, or request? Never. The consequences in fire environment, when it doesn't happen, they're catastrophic. So the trigger points we set up out there, and currently we have 8 of them, are well planned, well discussed within the team. We work, as they're activated, they're done a long way out. The days of fire being right at the doorstep hopefully are behind us. We try very hard to avoid that, but we understand it creates discomfort for the local community. Next, I wanted to talk about the evacuations themselves. Those are not made lightheartedly. They're made based on, a lot of times, people leaving an area. A lot of people have said, oh, I could have been able to get out. True, an actual threat. But when you look at the infrastructure in an area, as urban interface, them presentable every night, and then we present them the next day. There's currently not a public process to keep fire perimeter in real time out there. Is that a goal of the future? Absolutely, and the public should continue to ask, because that drives funding, that allows us to have those kind of products. Electronically is moving us in a lot of new directions. There is something called Collector we use, and we're putting real-time marks, things threatened, values at risk, something that does get burned up. All of it is entered into a database and available in real time on the internet. And like I said, the cooperation, it continues to be outstanding with the Forest Service, who brought in the team and is helping coordinate these efforts. All of the partners that have come to the table, including the Park Service, county, local, sheriff's office, neighboring counties, people are coming together, and the coordinated effort is taking us forward. A lot of things did take place today. A lot of them we were predicting and hoping they wouldn't happen, but as of right now, things are looking good on the fire. It's still moving around out there heavily in the fuels, and good quality decisions are being made by the team and all of the cooperators. Have a nice evening. We're hoping fire behavior moderates in the near future. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We did have some minor internet problems. This video will be uploaded to the Facebook page where you will be able to rewatch any of the things that you may have missed. We have information officers staffing our hotline. If you need that number, it's 970-541-1008. And as always, we have lots of information right here on our Facebook page. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5:30. Thank you.